Bhavin Shah is with us. He's founder, CIO, and CEO at Sameeksha Capital. Bhavin, good morning. Great to have you with us here. Thanks very much for joining us. And happy 2026. I think this is the first chat on the air in this new year.
Happy 2006 to all of you, yes.
Thank you. I want to just start with IT for a quick bit. If you have any strong views, Bhavin, but you have such a strong view on mid and small caps. That is where you largely operate. So just IT and what's the view from here, Bhavin?
Yeah, I think we are, seeing at least a bit of, stabilization, quote unquote, slightly positive direction, that we had seen about TCS Infosys results. I think were, at least that better than perhaps expectations. That weak second half, is turning out to be a slightly better second half for Infosys, for example. And also there is, if you listen to, the industry events, people talking at the industry events, you can expect a lot of sort of pilot projects related to AI, shifting more to actual implementations and so on and so forth. So while there is obviously that deflationary impact on the man hours, so to speak, there could be some opportunities as well. And that blend, whoever is able to take advantage of that better, should see a little bit more growth. Nothing to, write big stories about, but certainly, I think better than what we had seen in FY, what we are going to see at FY26 ended.
Okay, so incrementally slightly better. On Infosys, because it's a part of your portfolio, how much more upside do you see in the stock? Because ultimately the company's top line growth this year will be 3.5%. Next year, even after acceleration, it will still be a top line growth of 6-7%. So, I mean, is there a case for valuation re-rating because the EPS growth is going to be limited? How much more upside in IT stocks?
So, with a bounce that is already happening, and the stock still available at reasonable 4 to 4.5% free cash flow yield. And, if that number is growing at let's call it closer to 7-8%, maybe 8%, if you count in the rupee depreciation, obviously they benefit from that. It's a 10-12% kind of return story still, I would say. I think after a big move that happens around this kind of results, then they don't expect much for a while. But if you're a long-term investor, I think, that kind of return is still possible, which may be better than many other opportunities in the large cap space. I think one famous investor, I think Charlie Munger once said that sometimes you don't have to be brilliant, you just have to be consistent. And I think that's kind of the story of some of these IT services companies.
Okay, so steady compounding story, Infosys, dividend yield of 4%, and plus some EPS growth of 7-8%, and that's good enough to go forward. So incrementally, things are turning positive. Anything that you've heard in the IT commentary from the management would suggest that AI is now coming at an inflection point. We all heard about the pilots, the potential, but is it gaining traction enough? Because ultimately, when you look at the AI contribution from an HCL Tech or a TCS, it's still in mid-single digits.
I'm not sure it's so much from the companies themselves, but at industry events, like there was this event in Jaipur by the Global Summit for TI, and that's where there was a lot of talk about projects going more into implementation phase this year in the calendar 26. So I think that would also come into play as we go further in the year.
Okay. Bhavin, now let's talk about the broader market, right? Mid caps, small caps, right? Are we broadly at a place where are you in a place where you have less money and more ideas? Are we there yet?
I do think so. I think partly because we haven't taken a lot of money off table in last 6 months, so we are somewhat closer to being fully invested. But also I think yes, more names are now in a buy zone for us than they were 6 months back, you can say. And I think we have to see earnings growth basically come through. I think there is a lot of hope around that starting from this quarter itself. So if this earnings season goes well, I think, yeah, that could play out pretty well.
Bhavin, what are your, give us 2 or 3 names if you can. Just as something to kind of ponder over. I mean, not recommendation, just to, something which is looking like extremely attractive.
Interglobe Aviation, I mean, in company's market position hasn't changed. I think they're addressing the whole issue, with a front foot. They are doing wet leases so that they continue to serve the markets that the slots they are serving, and obviously they will, address other issues. And I think the stock is at a very attractive level in my view. And the opportunity they have. Most important thing is the opportunity they have
is huge. But 2 lakh crore market cap, Bhavin. Well, what else? Give us a few more ideas.
So I mean, I think we also like the wealth management. Some names in the wealth management space. We like Nuvama Wealth. It's a very well balanced and well positioned name in that space with some very unique position. In the capital market space that they enjoy, and I think overall it's a pretty decent growth story available at a very reasonable valuation.
We were doing 3 or 4, so you've done 2, Bhavin. Go on.
Well, I mean, I think one of the recent listings, Nephro Plus is another name that we continue to like. It's they're fairly unique in in that space, dialysis, and I think it's a very capable management, which we can bank on to deliver very healthy growth ahead. So I would like that. So we covered now 2-3 different spaces. So hopefully that suffices.
मैं सोच रहा था एक और पूछता हूँ, but ठीक है, अगली बार. But I think Nephro Plus, that's the name. Nephro Care, right? I mean, so
Nephro Care, yes.
Nephro Care. I mean, I don't think we've really, and fair to assume that whatever we've discussed is part of your portfolio. I mean, it's disclosed in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is the time to look for stocks which are getting thrown away, right? In the broader gloom and doom, in that sense, Bhavin, right?
That, or just that they haven't performed. Sometimes you've seen that companies, even though results were okay, stocks haven't really discounted that in this market. There have been some sellers coming in for whatever their individual reasons. So yeah, I think this is a market where opportunities are definitely a lot more than that we have seen before.
Okay, all right. We'll leave it there. Very nice to chat with you, and I hope this is the first of many this year. Thank you very much, Bhavin. Appreciate it.
Thank you.